Hey everyone, I've said it in the past, I'll say it again. It pays off to be nice to the tellers at the bank. It also pays off to have a little bit of money tucked aside for emergencies, and boy was this an emergency. I got a phone call from my bank and they said they had a customer that just dropped off a bunch of money from their safety deposit box. They said the money had been in there for decades and they wanted to know if I was interested. They also told me that the newest bill was from 1950. I said, how much? They said $3,155. So it took me a whole 2 hours, and I gathered the money together, went to the bank, and this is the stuff that I picked up. It's going to take me a long time to go through everything that I've got to go through with these bills, so I'll probably zip through this stuff real quick, and I'll be making other videos on this hoard of cash that I ended up getting. But yeah, when you take a peek at some of this stuff, these are the fives. We got 1950B, 1950C, just incredible. I already checked them for star notes. I already checked them for funky serial numbers. I did find 3 stars, and let's see here. Here are the stars that I found. This is a 1950B $10 star note. In my book, this one goes for about $57 or so. I found a 1950D $20 star note, and this one, if I remember, was $60 to $75. And I found a $50 1950D. This one clocks in at about $150. So those are the stars that I pulled from there. But yeah, going through some of these, some of them are in real good shape. Some of them have writing on them. Some of them are severely messed up. But still, I'm going to go through all kinds. Like this one is just beautiful. 1950A $10 bill, still crisp. Going through these bills is just amazing. Talk about holding history in your hand. This is like literally out of a cash register from the time. This is what you would find in bills. And they're just amazing to go through. Now, there are so many different things that I've got to check for, aside from cool serial numbers, whenever you get bills like this. Some of the stuff you're checking, they made 2 different types of margins. Here's an example of the 2 different color inks. There's a light green ink versus a dark green. Actually, this was on a 1934. And then you can see there another 1934 behind it. The 2 different colors and inks. Let me get closer there so you can see it a little bit better. So the 2 different colors of inks. There's mules to be found. I never talked about mules very much. But what a mule is essentially when they print a bill, the face of the bill changes every different series. From series 1950 to 1950A, they may change the signatures on here, but the reverse of the bill doesn't change. So what will happen is they will continue to use the plates from the previous year until those plates are worn out. Then they'll bring in the updated plate. And so you end up with mismatched plates. You end up with some plates from a 1950 series going on a 1950A, and so on down the line. That can be done with a number of different things. I've got a book that talks about all that stuff, so I will be checking all those. But yeah, looking at all these, look at this stack of 20s. That's amazing. Now, when I was going through this stack of 20s, one of the most incredible finds I had was I found one of these that was actually pretty good, but I noticed it was really thick. And it kind of surprised me how thick the bill was until I realized why the bill was as thick as it was. Because it was actually 2 bills stuck together. And I wonder if I'll find them as I'm going through here now. I'm just trying to zip through some of these here because there's just so many. But yeah, I did find 2 bills, 2 20s that were just, like I said, the first one was really thick, and when I checked it out a little closer, I noticed that there was another one stuck to it, and those 2 notes were consecutive numbers. I think this is it here, 60264284. Nope, that wasn't it. There it is. 617-82104. 617-82105. These are consecutive and they're almost perfect. I mean, they do show a little bit. I mean, they're probably about uncirculated. They're not mint. But yeah, some of these are just incredible notes. Like I said, I've got to go through the different, find out if they're mules. Here's some of the 1930s, 1934. 1934 with the big circle versus the small circle there. Makes these easy to spot. Just an amazing find. One of the other things I'm going to do with these, since I've got so many, I'm not going to keep them all, obviously. I will be returning some of them back that are written on or torn. The 50s are just so cool. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple bills and I'm going to experiment on them. Experiment, yes, I'm going to do an experiment. I've seen a lot of different things about cleaning bills. There's a 1934. I've seen a lot of different things about cleaning bills, and I never had the guts to do it. But if I know that if I return any of these bills, here are the hundreds, if I return any of these bills, they're probably just going to end up getting sent back to the Fed and getting shredded. So I'm not worried about damaging the bills. But I am curious to see if some of these cleaning methods work. So what I will do is I'm going to take a couple bills that are probably equal in dirt and grit and everything else, and then I'll have a side-by-side comparison. I'll do what I can to clean off one, and we'll show it next to the other one, and we'll see how well that turns out. Being that I've got so many of these that I can do that with, and like I said, anything that's written on, anything that's torn, I'm going to have to send back because I just can't keep $3,100 worth of old money here. But yeah, I'm going to see what happens when you try to clean these old bills. I don't suggest you trying to do it, but like I said, if the choice for this bill is me sending it back and getting shredded, well, what's the difference if I try to clean it beforehand? So we'll see what happens, and we'll see what the results are. I'll be more than happy to show the results, and maybe I'll even be able to show the process, but I don't want to give anybody any bad ideas. So that's what I've got on this little quick update. The star notes that I found. Once again, I'll be checking these for mules. I'll also be checking these for short printed blocks. These are the blocks here. I've got a book that tells me about those as well. So mules, varieties, and short printed blocks. That's all the stuff I'm going to go through, and we'll see what happens. I was just excited to get it home and get some of this stuff on film, because you don't get to see this stuff all the time. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.